Two friends get stranded on a deserted island. What kind of things happen between them, and whether they ever make it back home or not, let's find out in this story. Emma is a college student. One morning, she wakes up and gets ready for college. Before leaving, she checks her calendar to see what she has planned for the day. On the other side, Dean gets out of bed and heads to the bathroom. Dean is a careless, laid-back guy. After freshening up, he immediately starts playing video games. Just then, his father Jack reminds him that he's getting late for college. Meanwhile, Emma's mother, Barbara, drops Emma and her younger sister Stacy off at school. Stacy complains that everyone likes Emma and no one likes her, then walks away upset. After they leave, Dean also arrives at college. At college, Emma meets her friend Lily, who starts gossiping about boys. Suddenly, Steven shows up, calls Emma by her name, and walks off. Lily immediately starts teasing Emma about it. Later in class, their teacher, Mr. Johnson, announces that the class will be leaving for a trip the next morning at 7 a.m. Everyone gets excited. Just then, Emma enters the class, followed by Dean. He bumps into her, casually calls her prom queen, and walks in. As Mr. Johnson continues explaining the trip, Lily tells Emma that Dean is only going because of his father's money. When Dean interrupts again, Lily makes a face at him. The teacher explains that they'll be going on a 3-day trip to study an island, where everyone will travel by bus and have fun while learning. During lunch, Lizzie tells everyone what happened between Emma and Dean. She then suggests that Emma should try to get closer to Steven during the trip, but Emma says she wants to focus on the trip instead. While Lizzie keeps talking, Emma notices Dean sitting nearby, cutting an apple with a knife. Lizzie gets annoyed watching him. Helen then mentions that she and Dean used to study together and says he's actually a good guy, but Lizzie refuses to believe it. A little later, Miss Collier, one of the teachers, walks up to Dean and takes the knife away, though he doesn't seem to care. The next day, Emma gets ready for the trip. Her mother helps her pack, and Emma thanks both her parents. Her father advises her to take care of herself and enjoy the trip. On the other hand, Dean doesn't want to go, but his father reminds him how much effort he put in to secure his spot. He hopes Dean will learn something and make friends. At college, Mr. Christian instructs everyone to board the bus. Barbara reminds Emma to take care, and Dean's dad tells him the same. Before getting on the bus, Steven asks Emma how she's doing. As soon as he leaves, Lily starts teasing Emma again. After a few hours, all the students arrive at the trip location. Emma goes off with her friends, while Dean wanders alone. Emma and her friends head to the swimming pool, where she and Steven start having fun in the water. At that moment, Emma notices Dean watching her from a balcony. When Dean sees Steven holding Emma by the waist, he quietly walks away. The next morning, the group starts building a small bridge as part of an activity. Dean begins showing off his creativity, which annoys Steven. He tells Emma that Dean is going to ruin the trip and walks away. Just then, Lily shows up again and starts teasing Emma once more. That same evening, Emma's friend tells her that Steven has invited them to a party. Hearing this, Emma immediately shuts her laptop. She doesn't want to go, but her friends insist that she come along with everyone. Eventually, Emma agrees. Soon after, they all arrive at the party and board a boat. Everyone is enjoying themselves as the boat sails away. While at the party, Emma is talking to Helen when she suddenly notices Steven kissing another girl. Seeing this breaks her heart. Upset, she quietly walks away. As she passes by Dean, he asks if Steven was her boyfriend. Already frustrated, Emma tells him to mind his own business. Suddenly, the police show up. The moment they arrive, the party goes silent. It's immediately shut down, and the police order everyone to get off the boat. Trying to avoid the police, Emma moves forward, but suddenly slips and falls into the water. Dean sees her fall and immediately jumps in to save her. Emma screams for help. After struggling in the water, the two somehow manage to climb onto a small boat. Dean quickly cuts the rope tied to it. Emma gets angry and scolds him for cutting it. She wants to go back to the main boat, but Dean tells her they can't go back right now because the police are there and they could get into serious trouble. Just then, a violent storm hits. They try to steer back toward the ship, but suddenly a massive wave crashes into them. They hold on tightly, but the wave overturns their boat. The next day, back on land, everyone is preparing to move the students to another location. Lily informs Miss Collier that Emma has been missing since the party. At first, Miss Collier assumes Emma must be with someone else, but Lily insists that the last time she saw Emma was on the boat. Meanwhile, Emma and Dean have drifted far away into the Arabian Sea. Both are shocked. They're surrounded by nothing but endless water in every direction. Dean checks his phone. It's dead. He asks for Emma's phone, but there's no signal on hers either. Emma gives him some water. He thanks her and jokes that he can't believe they're out here partying like this. Dean laughs a little, but Emma is furious, worried about how they'll ever get back home. Back at the hotel, Mr. Johnson is taking attendance and realizes that Dean is also missing. Out at sea, Dean splashes water on his face. Emma tells him they should have stayed near the main ship, but Dean surprisingly seems calm, even a little amused. Suddenly, Emma spots an island in the distance. Dean jokes that it's too far and they can't reach it. Annoyed, Emma grabs an oar, but Dean takes it from her and turns the boat toward the island. Meanwhile, the police begin questioning everyone. When Lily is questioned, she says that Dean was on the boat but disappeared as soon as the police arrived. It seems likely that Emma and Dean are both in trouble somewhere. Miss Collier anxiously asks if there's any way to rescue them. The police respond that finding them won't be easy. Hearing this, Lily becomes scared. She says Emma is unfamiliar with such places. How will she survive? Out at sea, Dean keeps rowing and Emma helps him. Just as they are about to reach shore, a huge wave hits again, but this time it pushes them all the way to land. Finally, they reach the island and drag their boat onto the shore. Once there, Emma checks her phone for a signal, but there's none. Dean suggests they should move to higher ground. From the boat, he pulls out a gun along with some ammunition. It turns out to be a flare gun. Now, Emma and Dean begin searching for a safe place. Suddenly, Emma gets scared after seeing an insect. Dean asks what happened, and when she tells him, he starts laughing. Back in the city, Jack, Dean's father, finds out that his son is missing. Shocked, he immediately rushes to the college. There, he meets Emma's mother, Barbara. Both are extremely worried and begin questioning the principal about their children, but the principal has no answers. With no information and growing fear, they leave, deeply concerned. Meanwhile, Emma and Dean search for a place to stay on the island. Emma hasn't eaten for 2 days. Along the way, she spots a berry tree and tries to pick some fruit, but Dean stops her, warning that it might be poisonous. After that, Emma quietly follows him. The jungle is dense and a little scary. After walking for a while, they come across a waterfall deep inside. Dean finds it beautiful and asks Emma to take his picture, but she refuses. She's worried they might be putting themselves in more danger. After some time, they reach the edge of the island, but there's no sign of anyone. They turn back and pass by the waterfall again. A little further ahead, they discover a cave. Dean asks Emma to turn on her phone flashlight and hands him the phone. As he steps inside, a swarm of bats suddenly flies out. Terrified, both of them jump into the water. After things calm down, they head back to the shore, but their boat is gone. All they find is a single jacket. Emma looks around desperately, but the boat has completely disappeared. Both of them panic, wondering what they're going to do now. After a while, they decide to search for materials to build something so they can eventually leave the island. As the sun begins to set, Dean stares at it thoughtfully. Emma tells him to start a fire, but he ignores her. When she asks what he's thinking about, he just makes an excuse. Emma then takes out some food from her bag and shares it with Dean. Surprised, he asks where she got it. Emma explains that she always carries extra food with her. Meanwhile, back home, Emma and Dean's parents are waiting at the airport, hoping to leave and search for their children. On the island, Emma and Dean set up a small camp for the night. Emma asks Dean why he calls her prom queen. Dean replies that it's because she's the best girl. Suddenly, Emma hears a strange noise, but Dean tells her it's nothing. She checks her phone again, still no signal. Dean takes her phone and starts playing music. Emma warns him not to waste the battery since they might need it later. As they prepare to sleep, Emma feels cold. Dean gives her his shirt. Emma says that their families will find them soon. A little later, Emma hears the strange sound again and asks Dean what it is, but he doesn't respond. He's already asleep. The next morning, Dean wakes up and realizes Emma isn't there. He gets up and walks to the shore, where he sees her writing SOS in the sand. Dean asks for her phone, but it's now completely dead. Emma says their first priority should be finding fresh water. But Dean ignores her and goes into the ocean to wash up. Meanwhile, Johnson informs their parents that the police are searching for them and that the boat they were on has been found. Jack offers money to help speed up the search. Johnson says there's no private helicopter available, which makes Jack furious. He demands that they arrange one immediately. He wants to go himself. Barbara also insists on coming along to find her daughter. Back on the island, Emma collects water from a nearby stream when she hears a strange noise again. Frightened, she runs back to Dean, who is building a small shelter. She starts helping him, but ends up getting hurt. Dean comforts her, saying they'll go home soon. Emma wonders out loud, when they do go back, what will they even tell people about how they survived here? Meanwhile, their parents continue questioning the police, but there's still no trace of them. Emma's younger sister Stacy has also learned that Emma is missing. On the island, Emma writes SOS again in the sand while Dean watches her. Spending time with her has started to change how he feels. After a while, Dean gathers some fruit and they eat together before trying to finish their shelter, but collapses. They start building it again. During this time, Dean keeps glancing at Emma. Finally, the shelter is ready. Dean invites Emma to go wash up with him. They head to the beach, but instead of bathing, Dean tries to catch fish. He fails to catch even one, gets frustrated, and returns to the shelter where he lies down. Emma lies down beside him. As they rest, Dean gently places his hand on Emma's waist, but she doesn't say anything. The next morning, Emma goes to the waterfall to bathe. While she's there, Dean asks her for sunscreen. Emma tells him it's in her bag, but but Dean says it's not there. Emma immediately gets suspicious and says that someone else must be on the island stealing their things. Then she tells Dean to leave so she can finish bathing. Meanwhile, back at the hotel, Barbara is watching the news. There's still no sign of Emma. Seeing Barbara upset, Phil hugs her to comfort her. A little later, Emma's mother leaves with Jack and helicopter to search for her. Back on the island, Emma tries to start a fire. Dean, once again, is staring at the sun. Emma asks him why he keeps looking at it every day. Dean brushes it off, saying it's nothing. Suddenly, Dean notices a skull nearby. Emma sees it and starts screaming in fear. She panics and says they'll never make it back home. She breaks down crying. Dean tries to calm her down, saying the person could have been anyone, a thief or someone else. Maybe he was alone and couldn't survive, but they're not alone. They have each other. He tells her that if they stick together, they can make it back home. In that emotional moment, Dean kisses Emma. That night, the two grow closer and lose themselves in each other. The next morning, Emma wakes up and realizes Dean isn't there. She calls out his name and walks into the jungle. Soon, she finds him digging a hole. He wants to bury the skull. Emma asks what he's doing, but Dean replies that he doesn't need her help. Just then, Emma suddenly falls and gets hurt. Dean quickly cleans her wound, and afterward, they both go to the waterfall to wash up. Later, Dean opens up and tells Emma about his mother. As he's talking, it starts to rain. Dean enjoys the rain, while Emma watches him. In that moment, they move closer again and kiss. A month later, the news reports that the search for Emma and Dean has been officially called off. Emma's friends still believe she's alive. Barbara feels the same and continues searching with Jack using a helicopter. They even distribute flyers while looking for them. After all this effort, Jack tells Barbara that there's still no trace of Emma or Dean. Heartbroken, Barbara returns home. Back on the island, Dean tells Emma about a green light that appears during sunset. Over time, the two have learned how to survive and have grown very close to each other. Emma tells Dean that she likes him. Dean admits he feels the same way. One day, Emma is resting in the jungle when she suddenly hears the sound of a helicopter. Dean hears it too and immediately runs to start a fire as a signal. Emma rushes to him, but before they can do anything, the helicopter flies away. Emma desperately searches for something to start a fire again, but can't find anything. It seems like their supplies may have been stolen. Months pass, but no one comes to rescue them. One day, as they sit in their shelter talking, they decide they'll have to go deeper into the jungle to survive. Suddenly, they hear the growl of a wild animal. Dean starts moving toward the sound, and Emma follows him. Suddenly, Dean spots a black leopard to his left. Terrified, he tries to run, but slips and falls. A few moments later, Emma arrives and sees something shocking. Dean is with a knife. Meanwhile, back home, people slowly begin to forget about Emma and Dean. On the island, however, Emma and Dean have learned how to survive. They now know how to hunt, build shelters, and take care of themselves. Emma even marks lines on a rock to keep track of how many days they've been there. The next day, Emma falls sick. Dean asks if she might be pregnant, but she denies it. The two lie down together, talking quietly. Suddenly, some of Emma's lost belongings start falling from above. When they look up, they see a monkey throwing their stuff down. Frustrated, Emma fires the flare gun into the air. This makes Dean angry, and the two get into an argument. Upset, Emma walks away. After some time, while Dean is fishing, Emma comes back and apologizes. Dean forgives her. Just then, a helicopter passes overhead, and this time they're spotted on the shore. Finally, they are rescued. They return to the airport, where their parents and friends are overjoyed to see them. But strangely, Emma and Dean don't feel happy being back. One night, Dean comes to Emma's house and tells her that he doesn't feel right being here anymore. He leans in to kiss her, but Emma stops him and instead invites him to a party the next day. At the party, everyone is celebrating happily. Stacy asks Dean why he isn't mingling with everyone. Dean says he just doesn't feel comfortable there. He signals for Emma to come over, but she ignores him. Hurt, Dean leaves the party. Emma has now become popular, admired by everyone, but Dean can't stop watching her from a distance. A few days later, Emma tries calling Dean, but he doesn't answer. Meanwhile, Stacy tells Emma that no one likes her. Emma reassures her, saying she's a good sister. The two hug. The next day, Dean visits his mother's grave and says that he finally saw the green light. On the day of another party, Dean's father gives him a jacket. At the same time, Lily brings Emma to meet Dean. When Emma sees him, she steps outside with him and kisses him. And that's where the story ends.